Ordered the release of a redacted version of the Parkland school shooter's confession. Nicholas Cruz's attorneys argued releasing it could taint future court proceedings. The judge gave them 10 days to appeal the decision. Cruz confessed to the Valentine's Day attack at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. 17 people were killed, 17 more were hurt. Within a few weeks of starting back to school, so many children out there are going to go through fire drills, tornado drills, and unfortunately, active shooter drills because of these school shootings. It's sad, but it's a necessary step that a lot of us didn't have to go through when we were kids. But our next guest says parents have to start talking to their kids about these scenarios, and she actually says the terrorism talk is the new birds and the bees talk. Dr. Carole Lieberman is a psychiatrist. She's written a book, Lions and Tigers and Terrorists. Oh my, how to protect your child in a time of terror. Thank you for joining me. I mean, I'm sad that we have to do this segment, but it's important because you say it's actually the same as the birds and the bees combo. That got my attention. So
Yes.
How do you talk about this without making our children terrified to go back to school?
Yes, you know, it's just like the birds and the bees talk because parents and teachers will feel awkward about talking about it because it means that we have to confront some of our own feelings about it. But, you know, when kids go back to school this soon, they're going to be more worried about terrorists, 9/11 type terrorists and school shooters than their grades and their being in the popular crowd and so on. And if parents don't have this talk, then the kids stuff their feelings down. They get the message that, oh, I'm not supposed to ask about this or talk about this or say that I'm scared about this. And then they stuff their feelings down, and then later on it becomes something much more serious psychologically.
Well, and we know kids don't bring up these feelings, right? Just like the birds and the bees conversation. They may have questions, but how do you recognize they need to talk about it?
Well, you know, first of all, I think you just should just go from assuming that as they go back to school, they do need to talk about it. But I talk about 4 different kinds of reactions that kids can have: scared, sad, mad, and bad, and how to notice when they're feeling like this. But the thing is that kids, if parents don't talk about it, like there was this tragic but interesting story. Remember the Halloween terror attack in near Ground Zero?
Yeah.
The principal of one of the schools near that was interviewed, and she said, I'm going to have my teachers look at the kids, see if there's anything wrong, but I'm not going to use the word terrorism. Now, these kids went home that night or the next day, and they saw television. They saw everybody else talking about it being terrorism. They, you know, so to say that this was just a drunk guy, I mean, what do you say? That this was somebody who was just drunk and they accidentally ran over all these people?
So be honest about what it is.
Because if you're not honest, then it's even scarier for the kids because they realize that it's not only something scary out there like a school shooter or a 9/11 type terrorist, but it's also my parents or it's my teacher. I can't get the truth from them. I'm not going to be safe because I don't know what to believe about this.
Yeah, it's so hard for parents to balance that without scaring their children, but you got to do it just like the birds and the bees, as you say. Dr. Carole Lieberman, thanks for being with us. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh my God.